Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, back at it again over here in the garage. Again, trying to make a little bit more progress on this thing. So today, going to be combating my fuel system. So, current run of the fuel system it has, I believe it's a Worldbro 450 pump in it. It's just a single pump unit, great for E85. You know, it does great. But because this car does see, you know, a little bit of road racing, a little bit of mixed canyon driving, all that good stuff. I always did have the fear of fuel slosh, so I was always on top of making sure the tank was 100% full or as full as I could possibly get it before I did any kind of slalom runs or any kind of curvy roads, anything like that, because I was always afraid that fuel would slosh over. And of course, pump being on the side, it would run that area dry, and then I would, possibly hurt the motor in some way, shape, or form. So, not gonna talk about what the new fuel system is. I'll probably talk about that once I get the tank. But the tank that's gonna be going into it is a Cobra tank. So, gonna be getting the aftermarket Cobra tank that's essentially outfitted to work in a Fox body. So essentially, just the inlet diameter is a little bit smaller to fit the Fox body fuel filler hose, so you don't have to do any kind of weird adaptation there. But for now, I just got to get this complete fuel system out because it's going to be actually going in a buddy's car. One of my friends over at Stang Domination, I'll link their YouTube channel below because they do a lot of badass stuff. They're probably like way better at building cars than I am because they actually, complete projects and restore them versus me that just beats the shit out of them. But I'm gonna go ahead, start working on this thing. So first is I got the car jacked up already, and it's to start removing I think I'm just gonna go ahead, start from the back and work my way forward. So start with removing the diffuser. This is made by Carter Customs. I'll leave also a link to their website down below, just because I do get a lot of questions about this. This is the LX diffuser. I've been beating the crap out of it for years, and it's withstood 150, 160 mile an hour, drives in Mexico. So it's a badass piece. As long as you mount it properly, I don't think you should have any issues, because I've had little small issues of how I mounted it, but we'll talk about that another day. So let's go ahead, start getting this fuel system ripped out of the car and start prepping the car for the new tank. Alright, well, feel free to roast me, but I'm totally that guy. So I kind of told myself I would never be that guy that would cut a hole in his trunk for his fuel system. But after I dealt with multiple bad pumps, and they kept frying the connector on me and destroying the hanger, and me having to drop a full tank, I think it was after the 5th or 6th time that it happened, I just said screw it, and I busted out the grinding wheel out and just cut the shit. It's whatever. I still have the piece, I think, somewhere in my garage, and it shouldn't take very much just to kind of just tack welder back up. For the new fuel system, it'll actually be kind of difficult because the battery boxing is in the way. So that's definitely not going to be a thing. But it's definitely a fuel system that I do believe should not give me any issues. So I already got everything unhooked. So fuel pump should be ready to drop. Alright, so I got the entire fuel system out. Got the lines all bundled up so they're out of the way. These lines were nasty just from being super grimy. And if you haven't noticed, I think I figured out a good way to empty out this tank in no time at all. This is still the Fox Body's battery, so honestly, I don't even know if it's got any juice in it. Oh shoot, actually does look like it does. Are we pumping fuel? I don't think we are, so that means polarities are probably reversed. I promise I'm actually an electronics technician in real life. But let's see. Actually, before I spew a bunch of gas everywhere. There it goes. So this is a solid way to go ahead and empty this tank and possibly kill that battery's last leg. But yeah, it's actually working. So I'm actually gonna go ahead, empty out this tank real quick, or at least 5 gallons of it, whatever I can get out of it, you know, make it easier to move around the shop, and then figure out what to do with, you know, your old fuel. Alrighty, so fuel system is now out. So it's down there somewhere. So this fuel system is going to go to a good home. I know it's going to get used, so I'm pretty happy that it's not going to go to waste. I don't have to throw anything away, and then it's also out of my life. So in the next video I'll make about the fuel system, hopefully I'll have my tank in by then, and we'll start getting that plumbed in, and at least the fuel lines ran up to the engine bay. I don't want to cut the lines just yet. I want to make sure I have everything in its place before I kind of do any kind of trimming or cutting of the fuel lines. That way I don't cut a fuel line too short, because these lines are a little pricey, so that is the last thing I want to do. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Again, progress is progress, so I'm not trying to make this car totally perfect. I'm just trying to get all the parts I have in my garage on it and get it at least to my dogs are kind of freaking out over there, but at least try and get it to a running status. That way I can start enjoying this thing. So with that, if you guys got any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I will leave a couple links in the description for anything I mentioned. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.